so we can now ready on the computation of our balance sheet. So these are the computation of the balance sheet. So we have balance sheet here. Balance sheet. Sorry. Balance sheet. Okay. So again, we have the name of the company, which is the DIY Hardware. Okay, and then we have the statement of financial position. And then we have as of December 2022. Okay. So what we're going to do after this one? So we need to produce our total asset, liabilities, and capital. So we have first our asset. And then we can now produce, after this one, we can produce your current asset. As we all know, all the amount of current asset is movable or from 1 year round or 1 year round. So that's why it's called current asset or current asset. So under trial balance, we have cash in bank, cash on hand, receivable, marketable, inventory, and the two prepaid expense are part of the current asset. So we have cash in bank, which is 6,200,000. Sorry, this one. So we have cash in bank, which is 6,200,000, and then we have cash on hand, which is 450,000, and we have receivable. The amount is 790,000. We have the notes receivable equals to tapat sa notes, and then we have the interest receivable, which is equals to, and then 75,000. And then we have marketable securities equals to, and then we put it under 300,000. And then we have the merchandise inventory equals to, go back to the amount, enter. Okay, and then prepaid rent equals to, enter. Okay, then the amount of the prepaid rent, we have 500,000. And then we have equals to our office supplies, and then we have equals to the amount, enter. Okay, so that will be our total. Okay. That will be our total current assets. So our total current assets is sum of, highlight, enter. So we have 12,895,000 total non-current. Okay, then we have the non-current asset. We know that we have 4 non-current asset because we have 4 adjustments. So under adjustment, the one that you see under accumulated depreciation should be deducted to the amount of the non-current asset. For example, we have service income less accumulated depreciation. So you need to put the amount under balance sheet. So we will only get the net amount. Okay, so example, so we have equals to, the first non-current is the service vehicle. Okay, and then equals to the adjustment that we have under service vehicle. Okay, so that's how we produce our balance sheet. So we have equals to the amount of the service vehicle, and then you deduct the amount of the 250,000 under the adjustment. Okay, so we have now equals to 2,500,000 minus 250,000. So we have 2,250. Okay, and then we have the second non-current asset from the trial balance is the machineries. So we have here the amount of the machineries, which is 7 million, and then we got the accumulated depreciation from the adjustment. Okay, also the amount from the adjustment. Okay, and then afterwards, because we already have computation, we just copy the computation. Okay, so we have now the amount of the net machineries, and then the third adjustment or the third non-current asset that we have is the office equipment. Then we need to get the adjustment from the third one, which is the office equipment. So adjustment from the office equipment is 400,000. It's 400,000. And then copy paste the computation. So we have 1,600,000. The fourth or the last part of the non-current is we have the furniture and fixtures. Then we need to get the adjustment from here. Okay, also the amount from the adjustment sheet. Okay, so we have the computation, which is the same, at minus. So we have the amount of the non-current assets. Okay, maybe we can adjust this one because okay, I just adjust the computation here. Equals to the total amount of the non-current asset. Okay, and then we have the amount of the non-current asset so we have here okay, so we can add these four. So we have 10,954,000. So the amount of the total asset, this one is the total asset, should be the same when we compute the total liabilities and capitals. So we will know later if it's correct. So total asset. So we have total asset of 23,849. Okay, so the computation of liabilities and capital should be also the same with the total asset. Okay, we cannot see this one because it's too broad. So we need to prepare a pre-span. We can prepare a pre-span so that you will see what's the upper part and the lower part. Maybe we can insert one part here. So if you will see a cross like this cross, so you can put the pre-span so that the lower part you can see the lower you can still see the lower and the upper part. Okay, so that's the correct preparation of the pre-span. So these are the pre-span. Okay, so we can now prepare the liabilities and stockholders equity. Okay. So under liabilities and stockholders equity, we have our what? Non-current liabilities first. So we have our we have our current liabilities. So what are the current liabilities that we have? We have, from the trial balance, we have accounts payable, notes payable, insurance payable, accrued interest, and the one from the income statement, which is the income tax payable. Okay, so we prepare now our current liabilities. So we have accounts payable, amount is 500,000. Then we have notes payable, amount is 700,000. And then we have last three. We have the insurance payable. We have amounted to 300,000. Accrued interest or interest payable. So it's the same. Accrued means payable. So don't forget that. So when you heard the word accrued, it means it is part of the current liabilities. Okay? So accrued interest is 1,500,000. And then we put the another payable, which is from income statement, the income tax payable. Okay? Maybe we can prepare the word income tax payable. Okay. And then the amount from the income statement. So we have the income statement. So we have the income statement. Okay, so to complete our current liabilities, we will add all these five. So we have now, again, we get the sum and then highlight these five in order to get the amount of the current liabilities. Now we are going to compute our non-current liabilities. So we only have two non-current liabilities. So we have the bonds payable. Okay, so from the trial balance, we just get the amount of the bonds payable. So the amount of our bonds payable is how much? This one is 1 million. And another one is the amount of the notes payable. So our notes payable long term is 3,700,000. So we also need to get the amount from the trial balance, which is 3,700,000. So add these two. So the amount of our non-current liabilities are, we can use the sum, this one, and then highlight the two amount in order to get the amount of the non-current liabilities, which is 4,700,000. And the last part that we are going to produce is the amount of the stockholders' equity. So we know that this is a corporation. So when we are dealing with a corporation, instead of putting the net income, we will add all the net income to our retained earnings. So we just need to get the amount of the beginning stockholders' equity, which is the original one. So when we say original one, so this is the amount of your capital from the start. Okay? So the stockholders' equity, So stockholders' equity beginning amount is, Okay, so we have the original amount, which is the amount from the trial balance. So we have 10 million. Okay, and then we need to get the amount of the retained earnings from the start and add the amount of the income that we have. So we have the retained earnings, which is amounted to 4,300,000, and then we add the net income from the income statement. So we have 1,294,300. So when we add these three, I mean the current liabilities, the non-current liabilities, and the stockholders' equity, we need to produce the same with the total asset. So, and stockholders' equity. Okay, so we now have the amount of the 3, which is, then we have 23,849,000. So same with the total asset, is 23,849,000. So we now produce the correct amount of the asset, liabilities, and capital. So I hope you understand our lesson for today. Maybe after this one, we will produce the computation or the how to compute the financial ratio analysis with this statement. Okay, so let's try to produce the financial ratio analysis through you. So you will be the one who will produce the ratio analysis. Okay, so I hope you understand our topic for today, and I know that you already understood the financial statement or the preparation of financial statement under financial management subject or your major subject. So again, thank you and God bless to all of you. So your assignment is to prepare the ratio analysis for this topic. Bye-bye, guys.